The reason that you just got a round of applause from everybody in the room is because sometimes people are forced to become a superhero. You don't want to. You didn't ask for it. You think you didn't. You didn't sign up for it. You think you didn't. And Hashem puts you in a situation where it's do or die, sink or swim. And the situation was, and I'll change the details for the video, but they have a very precious home, second home somewhere. And their kip asked to go there. And it's very precious to them. It's beautiful and it's nice. And we know that kips are not exactly known in their reputation to be super tidy, okay, or super responsible. We've had our fair share of kips that burnt or nearly burnt down the house or have thrown parties and stuff like that. But what happened was when they went there for the Yontif of Shavuos, they expected, I don't know what you were expecting. I wasn't so shocked. But as much as you could possibly have been expecting a little bit of a mess, the kid was living there for a short time, they basically walked in Erev Shavuos expecting to have this beautiful Shavuos vacation. They walked into a wreck of massive proportions, which you just can't even imagine how many cups and dishes and utensils are stacked up and just dirty, and like what in the world was he thinking? And now you got to come up and you got to clean, and the disrespect towards the parents and the opposite of hakaras hatov. What's the opposite of hakaras hatov? Kafui tov, right? And the coffee stains were all over, and the marks, and it's just like, what were you thinking? And you know your parents are coming, even if you made a mess, why didn't you clean up? Why didn't you say, by the way, maybe send up a house, something. Some kind of a notice would have been appreciated. Mom and dad walk in, Hashem Yerachim. Now, first of all, the real applause goes to the wife. Okay? She is calm as a cucumber, and she takes out the broom and starts sweeping, right? And starts sweeping and doesn't say a word to her son besides a hug. Hang on. Casual conversation with the son and sweeping as if you spilled some popcorn. Here, 6, 7 things of popcorn. And instead, it's a total wreck, and she's sweeping and cleaning. How's it going? How was your week? As if nothing. And right away she registered, I'll clean. Maybe I'll clean through the night. People usually stay up Shavuos night. She'll stay up Erev Shavuos night. It's not damaged, and if it's damaged, we'll replace it. Our son is worth more than our home to us. Dad, on the other hand, steam coming out of his ears. Cannot take it. Ad Kan, he was going to sing the Ad Kan song. Can we sing it all together? Ad Kan, 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 kan. Kan, 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 all together now. Okay. And give him a lot of credit. First of all, the wife is amazing here. And she's calming him down. And it's not fair that not only she has to deal with this, but she's also taking care of the husband, but she's doing it. She's like, you go for a walk, you go out for, I don't know, smoke, or find something to smoke, do something, go. I got this under control. Like basically, because dad was trying to go on Instacart to actually order a sawed-off shotgun, which probably you can get on Instacart within the hour by just showing some kind of a photo ID. And he just needed one bullet. And the question was really, I wasn't sure, is it for the kip or for yourself? That we weren't sure. So he's going bonkers, and he's going to just rip this kid. And what would have happened? Let's play this out. Again, you're 100% right. He's cuckoo. But Shavuos would have been a disaster. He would have left in the middle of the night. Your wife would have been all angry at you. Why'd you have to open your mouth? Why'd you do that? You would have had shalom bayis issues. Your Shavuos would have tanked. It would have been the furthest thing from relaxing. And we would have taken a terrible situation and made it into an even more terrible situation with no upside. Everybody knows that, but nobody blames dad because we're human. And it's like, this is my place. This is, what are you doing? This is our This is our honeymoon place. This is our vacation place. This is our place away from our little place where we live. This is our everything. This is our retirement home. This is my man cave. This is everything. And you trashed it from head to toe. Bad enough what you do in your room in your house. But to trash our little piece of Gan Eden, right? Look at him. He's shaking his head. Yes. It's horrible. And yes, I feel your pain. Now, at that point, though, you had a choice. And what you wanted to do would have brought disaster, and you wouldn't have had Menuchas HaNefesh because he would have left, and you wouldn't know where he is. Then you have the same problem of a messed up house and whatever damage, whatever you need to rebuy, whatever you need to re-clean, reinstall, reupholster, I don't know, right? Then you get a wife that's pretty upset at you now, even though she understands you, but why'd you have to? And then you have a kid probably would run away, and then you'd be like, where is he? Where is he? And then you'd have to go through that whole spiral. So you went ahead and left me a message. And this is the part that's called training. Don't do anything. You could always shoot the kid tomorrow. You could always decide, that's it. I'm going to shoot him, but I'm going to wait a few days. Let me speak to Avi. And when you don't want to hear my voice, you need to hear my voice because you're about to make a huge mistake. When you don't want to hear your wife, or if the wife is upset and doesn't want to hear the husband, you need to hear that voice, okay? Or at least the voice of saying, just don't do anything. Now's not the time. Calm down. Because if you don't calm down, you make mistakes, you end up having to spend 6 months to undo the damage. And if you're really sure that you're doing the right things, you could do it a week later. Yeah, a week later you walk over your kid, whack. What's that for? That's from last week. But you'll see, you would never punish any kid in any situation. You would never scream a week later. A week later, everything calms down. You can deal with it calmer. Always wait. So thank you for reaching out. And Baruch Hashem, I happen to have been available. And I sent him a very, very long, very intense voice note, which I hope you listen to every day, and which I'm going to send to everybody because it didn't have identifying details. And I told you, like, first of all, you're an angel. You're not an angel like your wife who's just doing it easily. You're a bigger angel because you're a human. You want to kill your kid, but you're mamish gvura no, I'm going to do the Yud Gimel Midas Harachamim. I'm going to do Racham and Chanan. I'm going to do Erech Apayim. I'm not going to get an answer. I'm not going to respond. I'm going to be Noisei Avain. We're going to clean this up. I'm going to follow my wife's lead because we're going to save not just the house. We're going to save. And you said some things on your voice note to me about your intense love for the home. And I responded by saying, you should have that intense love over your child, because if it's coming to kill the child or kill the home, what's more important to you? That you would lose your kid, and it's also dangerous what would happen to him. Besides hurting his feelings for any child and for any situation, we're dealing with extreme stuff here. So really, you're going to choose your summer home over your child? When it comes down to it, no. No, we should never have to make that decision. But when it comes down to it, we choose our children no matter what. And it's very much like what we heard from the amazing speech of Rabbi Y.Y. Jacobson based on a Sikha of the Rebbe about the fact that Moshe Rabbeinu broke the Luchos to save Klal Yisrael. The Luchos was Moshe. Zichru Teiras Moshe Avdi, the Rebbe says. That's the pasuk he quotes. The Teirah zu Moshe, Moshe zu Teirah. And for him to take the most precious thing in the world and to shatter it, and he did it to save Klal Yisrael, because at the end of the day, we have to save Klal Yisrael. And you were willing to, at that point, lose your kid because look what you did to my home. And Baruch Hashem, you had self-control, and that's why I tell you all, at that moment, you have to realize your koyach of tefillah. Why? First of all, we have a beautiful religion that appreciates that humans are faulty. Hashem understands that. So it says that if you're going to get angry and you control yourself, what happens? Anybody know? Right? So that means that Hashem understands that you're not an angel. You can't have full self-control like your wife, or your husband. You're going to struggle. When you control yourself, when you have this self-control, and you want to go and get angry, you have this. You can have complete mechilas avonos. So you just had Yom Kippur. You had Yom Kippur in the middle of the year, an extra one, clean slate. So if you look at it that way, with Torah Dika Eigen, it's a pretty good deal. And now, also, when you don't respond, and the Medrash, Rashi brings down a Medrash, right? That if a person is chaysim piv, closes his mouth, and he doesn't answer, zeiche le'er haganus, he's zeiche to this tremendous araganus that we can't even imagine. Self-control is appreciated by Hashem. Self-control is appreciated by the Torah. So you were put right before Matan Torah, right before Shavuos, but it's the same thing throughout the year, into a matzav of Nisayan, and you were oimedu miskaber, you became mamish like unbelievably holy. And when you do that, you should daven for your kid, and daven for all the kids here in the room, and all the 1,000 TP kids, and the other thousands of kids out there that are struggling, and for everybody, for all the shidduchim that are needed, and all that. Daven, you have a koyach tefillah. You have a koyach tefillah, and you have the strongest koyach tefillah. It's the tefillah of the Ber Mayim Chayim. You look up, you say, Hashem, you know what's going on in me. You know every piece of me. I want to rip his head off. I want to throw him out. I want to call him names, right? But he's my son. But he's my kid. As fart a kind. Yeah, if it was not my son, and it was the caretaker of your place that went in that, you would call the cops, you would have him arrested, you would sue him, and all of that is very true. You would arrest the guy, but he's my son. He's my son. And that koyach tefillah you have is the strongest tefillah, says the Bar Mayim Chaim, in the world. Rebbeinu Shalom, he says, look at how I treat my son, even though he's messed up and he's doing all of this, and he gives me such aggravation, and he gives me embarrassment, right? But look how I'm treating him with toiv and chesed. And then he says, V'anochi basar v'dam. And I'm just a stupid old little basar v'dam, dumb. We're all dumb. We all got issues and problems and anger issues, and we're hurt and we have pain. Hashem, you don't get hurt. You don't have feelings. You don't have neighbors. You don't have a budget. Right? You don't get embarrassed. I have to deal with all of that. Hashem, you don't have childhood trauma. You didn't you weren't bullied as a kid. You didn't have a father who beat you. I mean, you didn't get thrown out of yeshiva. Dumb. I'm super dumb. Really dumb. We're just regular puny kids. Humans, right? If I can do it, the Kal V'chomer til mad mimeni Rebbeinu Shalom. And the Kal V'chomer, Hashem, if I can do it, you can do it. Be nice to your kids, even though they messed up your home. We had a home. We had a Beis HaMikdash. And we trashed it. And we smashed it. And we destroyed it. We caused the destruction. Right? He said, Hashem, be like my wife. Take a broom. Have casual conversation, even though we're wrong. And I'm going to be like my wife too. And be like us. And take your children and give them back the Beis HaMikdash, okay? And clean up their mess. If we can do it, you can do it. You're the most powerful people probably in Klal Yisrael, because there's no tefillah. It says that these type of tefillahs, nobody could stop. Because the angels always say, when we daven for things, the angel says, oh, they don't deserve it. Over here you're saying, I know, my son doesn't deserve it. I'm not asking you to do it because we deserve it. I'm asking you to do it because we're your kids. Ki anu amecha, anu banecha. That's it. There's no answer for that. So you have a koyach at tefillah like anybody else. And the truth of the matter is, if we looked at it, then when the Nisayan happened, we realized it's like winning $1 million. It's like mechilas havainis, tremendous opportunity to become a gadol adar. Regular people like me and you and regular people here, it's very hard to become a gadol adar. You became a gadol adar by not responding to your kid trashing your house, by cleaning it up quietly, and the end was not only did you get schar, mechilas avainis, and the power of tefillah, not only did you go into Shavuos or any time you do it with tremendous kedusha, right? You were Ayman bin Hussein. Unbelievable. But you also happen to have had a beautiful, beautiful Shavuos. Because your son didn't mean to hurt you. And Nebuch, a lot of times we see that when people get angry at them, they realize that the kid takes it so personally, and you're wondering, why are you taking it so personally? You know what you did, and he didn't mean it. What do you mean he didn't mean it? Yes, he knows. He's 27 years old. He's 36 years old. He knows exactly. You can have the beautiful speech. Bottom line is, you wouldn't have the beautiful yontif. And the fact that he responded to your love and care and not your criticism shows that he really didn't mean it. How is that possible? Trauma. It just makes you do things that you don't know why you're doing. And if somebody would ask him, and if you would show him pictures in 2 months from now and say, did you mean to do that? He'll be like, as shocked as you were. He'll be like, I cannot believe what I did. I don't understand it. I don't know. But if you attack him, he'll bite your head off. You'll have a fight. You'll have to call Shomrim. He'll run away. And then he'll do drugs to numb his pain. You lose everything. So not only did you have the tremendous Amidah ben Nisayan, and if you look at, and the reason I'm spending the time is, you're all going to be faced with Nisyanis. Look at it as a Nisayan. Not from the kid, from God, from Hashem. I'm having a Nisayan now in Rachum. I'm having a Nisayan in Erech HaPayim. I'm having a Nisayan in one of the Yud Gimel Midas. Avram Avinu had Nisyanis. Yitzchak Avinu had Nisyanis. Yaakov Avinu had Nisyanis. And us little people, we have challenges. The challenge comes from God. Cut out the middleman. It's not your kid. Deal with Hashem directly. You're upset. You're frustrated. I had a conversation with another family. He's so angry at his son. He's so upset at his son. I said, can we be honest? You're not angry and upset at your son. You're angry at Hashem. No, how could, because we can't think. How could I be angry at Hashem? I said, think about it. He thought about it. He said, you're right. Why did Hashem give me this kid? Why did my neighbor who hardly studied with his kids and didn't do homework with his kids and didn't do all the trips with his kids and didn't seem to care about his kids, has a lineup of kids, top, and me, I cared, and I went to every PTA, and I stayed up, and I studied, and I davened, and I did schoolis, and my kids look like why? I said, you're angry at Hashem, right? Hashem sent you the wrong kid. Deal with Hashem directly. Deal with Hashem directly. And I know that they'll get through it. And very important to read the third section of GPS that I wrote is about dealing with pain. Nisyanis are part of life. And when you're Ayman bin Hussein, you become a national hero. So I wish I could say your names on video, but I want to present you with a plaque, but I don't have a plaque. So we have no plaque and no names, and I'm telling you, you are national heroes of Klal Yisrael, and I'm so proud of you. This should be like an award music. Thank you. And you should come up on stage and you should get an award. Kamaycha Yibu Yisrael. Stay strong. You won not only in Olam Haba, but you actually had 4 days of the most beautiful time together, which would have been lost. And you're bringing your kid in. He's going to get better. Don't expect too much. Ba'asher Husham. Take whatever he is. When they mess up, they don't mean to mess up. And just keep on being you. Hashem should help. You should have a refuah shalema. And you guys are mamish angels. You should be zeicha to walk him down to a chuppah. K'das Moshe V'Yisrael.